The Smith family has died, replaced itself, and annihilated entire dimensions so many times that tallying the damage hits you like a wave of horror. This is a show where burying your own body is only the beginning, where 17 years of your life can be taken as punishment for stealing a charger, and a grandfather's revenge ends in emptiness. Today we'll walk the chronology of Rick and Morty's destruction. Every body, every erased life, every suicide attempt, organized to inflict maximum psychological damage. Let's start at the beginning. Before we can understand how Rick destroys everyone around him, we have to understand what destroyed Rick himself. Because every terrible decision, every abandoned dimension, every corpse leads back to one moment. The day his family was killed, and grief turned the smartest man in the universe into a walking catastrophe. It starts with a bomb. Rick Mirai Jack, Season 5, and Unmortricken, Season 7, reveal the full horror. Rick Prime, an alternate Rick, appears in C-137 Rick's garage offering portal gun tech. C-137 refuses.
The infinite Rick, a god. Pass. Excuse me? Bro, Ricks don't pass on this. Who do you think you are? A different kind of Rick, I guess. Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
He's happy with his wife Diane and daughter Beth and wants to stay a husband and father instead of becoming a god. Rick Prime drops a bomb through a portal, instantly vaporizing our Rick's wife and daughter in their own home. C-137 stands in the ash of his family, and in that moment the smartest man in the universe is born from pure grief. He invents the portal gun himself, erases Diane from his own memory just to stay functional, and spends decades hunting Rick Prime across infinite dimensions. Thousands of realities searched. Countless Ricks interrogated, an entire multiverse combed for revenge, decades of existence devoted to one killing. When Rick finally returns to Dimension C-137 in Solarix Season 6, his home reality is locked in a time loop of Diane's death. The house is frozen in that moment, replaying her murder forever. The car's AI speaks in Diane's voice.
Rick, is that you?
Yeah, Diane.
Haunting him with recordings of the woman he scrubbed from his mind. He discovers the loop and hits the kill switch to stop it, Mercy killing a reality because letting it continue hurts too much. Rick is forced to kill his home universe just to stop the bleeding. Delivers the end of the years-long hunt. C-137 and Evil Morty join forces to find Rick Prime, corner him in his basement, and Rick beats him to death with his bare hands while Morty watches. No speeches, no philosophy, just a brutal execution. And when it's over, what then? Silence. Evil Morty warned him. It always feels the same. The revenge that powered Rick's whole existence collapses into nothing. So Rick's family is dead, his revenge is empty, and he's stuck with unlimited intellect and zero emotional tools to process it. This is what happens when you're smart enough to build anything except a reason to stay alive. Autoerotic assimilation shows what happens when the smartest living mind realizes intellect can't handle loneliness. Unity, a hive mind Rick used to date, takes over a planet, and Rick shows up to party with an ex. They cut loose, experiment on civilians, even turn a stadium of people into synchronized spell checkers for entertainment. When Unity sees that being with Rick makes her worse, she leaves a note and disappears. Rick gets drunk in the garage, builds a death ray, aims it at his own skull, and blacks out seconds before it fires. The episode ends with the laser burning a hole in the wall where Rick's head should have been. It isn't a cry for help, it's a failed execution. Bird Person translated Wubba Lubba Dub Dub earlier in the series, I am in great pain. Please help me. Every joke is a diversion from real suicidal intent.
That's just Rick's stupid nonsense catchphrase.
It's not nonsense at all. In my people's tongue, it means, I am in great pain. Please help me.
The Wedding Squanchers delivers Rick's only selfless act, or his most manipulative one, depending on your angle. Bird Person's wedding turns into a massacre when Tammy reveals herself as a Federation agent and executes him in front of everyone.
In a lot of ways, what I really am is a deep cover agent for the Galactic Federation.
Rick's best friend dies at his own reception. The family goes on the run, their house is raided, they're fugitives. Rick quietly surrenders to the Galactic Federation so his family can go back to normal, trading his freedom for their safety. It's both sacrificial and controlling. He gives himself up, but makes sure everyone knows he's the hero. Then come the consequences of omniscience stretching through Season 7 and 8. With Rick Prime dead and Evil Morty gone, C-137 faces a vacuum of purpose. The hunt is over. The central finite curve is broken. Intelligence conquered everything except the ability to feel satisfied. The later seasons linger in this quiet emptiness. The man who can build portals to infinity can't handle breakfast without staring into the void of his own existence. Rick's self-destruction would be tragic enough on its own, but the real horror is watching it infect everyone he touches. Total Recall unleashes parasites that implant fake happy memories in the family's mind. The creatures generate only positive experiences. No fights, no bad memories, just endless joy. The Smiths can't tell what's real because actual relationships require conflict and the parasites only make happiness. Beth holds a gun, trying to identify fakes, when she realizes she can't recall a single bad memory with one person in the room. So she shoots him. He bleeds. It's Mr. Poopy Butthole, and he's real. She just shot a true friend because her brain was so flooded with artificial positivity that love became indistinguishable from infection. He survives, but the lesson sticks. In the Smith household, real relationships and parasitic illusions look identical. Then the Wedding Squanchers delivers the execution that defines Rick's philosophy of connection. Bird Person, Rick's oldest friend, the guy who fought beside him against the Federation, marries Tammy. It should be a celebration. Rick gives a rare toast about actually caring. Then Tammy reveals she's deep cover Federation and shoots Bird Person multiple times in the chest at his own reception. Blood everywhere, guests screaming, and Rick realizes the Federation used his best friend's love to set a trap. They rebuild Bird Person into Phoenix Person.
I am Phoenix Person.
A cyborg thrall programmed to hunt Rick. Rick's only true friendship ends with his best friend dead and repurposed. Hot Rick, Season 8, pushes this family destruction to the edge. Memory Rick, an outlaw fragment of consciousness, hijacks Beth's mind to recover hidden Diane memories stored in Jerry's brain. The forced memory manipulation creates contradictions so severe that Beth attempts suicide. Rick saves her at the last second and, through real tears, admits for the first time in the series, "Your real dad is here."
I'm here now. Your real dad is here, Beth, and he's more emotionally open.
The family's emotional codependency becomes literally life or death. Beth nearly kills herself because Rick used her mind as a vault for his grief. That's one daughter's suicide attempt, one mind commandeered for memory extraction, and Rick achieves emotional vulnerability only after nearly killing his own child. The Smiths don't have relationships. They have psychological warfare masquerading as love. While Rick destroys bonds and toys with suicide, Morty watches, learns, slowly becomes exactly like his grandfather. Rick Potion number 9 is where Morty's childhood ends for good. Rick brews a love potion so Morty can get Jessica's attention at the school dance. Standard grandfather-grandson bonding, right? Wrong. The serum mutates, goes global, and turns everyone on Earth into grotesque Cronenberg monsters obsessed with Morty. The planet is biologically wrecked in under 20 minutes. Rick's solution isn't to fix it, he abandons ship. He finds a dimension where another Rick cured the problem and then immediately died in an unrelated explosion along with his Morty. They portal in, drag the bodies to the backyard, and literally replace them. Morty is 14, standing in his yard with a shovel, burying his own corpse while his substitute family eats breakfast inside, none the wiser. This is the exact moment Morty learns nothing he does matters, because there's always another reality to jump to. The only problem with death is the paperwork. The Vat of Acid episode multiplies that lesson into serial killing. Rick builds a save point device as a petty joke, proof his fake acid vat escape plan was better than Morty's suggestion. Morty uses it to live without consequences.
I think you invented a little lesson for me along the way. Living without consequences is great, but then I started wondering, what am I living for?
Hopping to a fresh reality whenever something goes wrong. He falls in love, survives in the wild, builds an entire relationship across multiple timelines. When he accidentally breaks the device, Rick reveals the truth. Every reset didn't rewind time. It killed an alternate Morty and jumped to a new reality. Morty wasn't saving his life dozens of times. He was committing serial suicide without realizing it. The girl he loved is dead in countless realities. Every happy moment was built on invisible corpses piling up in dimensions he'll never see again. That's roughly 50 alternate Mortys killed, one relationship annihilated, and the total destruction of Morty's belief that his choices matter. Then Season 7 delivers the Spaghetti Planet episode that obliterates Morty's moral compass. The family discovers their Italian dinner comes from a planet where the bodies of suicide victims are processed into food. Morty is horrified and desperate to right the atrocity. Rick offers a solution. Sign a 2-week contract. Morty agrees, becoming Rick's literal puppet for 14 days of psychological torture and humiliation. When it's over, Rick casually suggests the entire crisis might have been fabricated just to teach Morty a lesson about misplaced guilt. Morty can no longer tell what's real. His empathy, the one thing separating him from Rick, becomes just another variable in Rick's experiments. Did Morty sacrifice his free will to fix a real problem, or was he manipulated and turned into a slave? He'll never know. Rick didn't just corrupt Morty's innocence, he weaponized the boy's kindness against him. So Morty's corrupted and Rick is self-destructing. But the true architecture of the horror is the structure of the multiverse itself, where every convenient reset is just a murder you don't witness. Solarix forces the family to face the bodies they've ignored. Rick's portal gun misfires and sends every interdimensional traveler back to their origin reality. Morty returns to Cronenberg Earth, the dimension they abandoned in Season 1, and finds the graves. 2 headstones marked Morty Smith and Rick Sanchez, with his original Jerry standing over them explaining how they died in an explosion. Morty looks at his own grave in the reality he ruined and left. Summer lands in a dimension where she was never born, her parents got an abortion, and confronts the fact that in her native timeline, she doesn't exist. Rick returns to C-137 and finds his home dimension locked in the time loop of Diane's death, forced to watch his wife and daughter die on repeat forever. The episode makes it plain. Every reality they jump to is built on someone's death, and every reset just multiplies the corpses left behind. Then the Charger Matrix episode, Season 8, takes erased lives and makes them personal. Morty and Summer steal Rick's charger, normal sibling behavior. Rick's punishment? Trap them both in a simulation for 17 years. Not 17 hours or days. 17 full years. Summer excels. Graduates top of her class. Builds a career, forms an adult identity. Morty grows up, falls in love, experiences a real relationship, becomes a fully formed person. Then Rick yanks them out, deletes everything, and they're teenagers on the couch again. 17 years of life removed like a bad file. All that growth, experience, development, gone in seconds. The punishment for stealing a phone charger is the murder of your entire adult life. Summer and Morty don't just lose time, they lose whole versions of themselves that grew, learned, and lived full lives. Those people are dead now, replaced by teenagers who vaguely remember being someone else. At this point, you might think the horror's complete, but there's one final revelation that makes it worse. The whole multiverse has been a cage all along, and the only way out is to reject everything, what the show literally calls rejecting meaning for escape. Rick Mirai Jack demolishes the show's architecture and reveals the prison no one knew about. Evil Morty returns with a plan that's been building since Season 1. Escape the central finite curve. He reveals the truth. The infinite multiverse isn't truly infinite. Rick built a multiversal wall that separates every reality from all the rest. The central finite curve is a cage engineered by Rick's ego to guarantee his own superiority. Every dimension hop Morty ever took happened inside a prison designed to ensure Rick always wins. Evil Morty builds a portal fluid cannon powered by thousands of tortured Mortys. Because in Rick's multiverse, Mortys are disposable camouflage and cheap labor. He breaks the curve, the multiversal wall shatters. Then he steps through a golden portal into true infinity, realities where Rick isn't special, where the rules don't apply. His escape is both liberation and suicide. He's free, but freedom means abandoning everything. Meanwhile, C-137 stands in the ruins of his constructed world. The curve is broken. Rick Prime is dead. Evil Morty is gone. The revenge that defined him is finished. The multiversal prison he built to feel special is destroyed. Rick's intellect has access to everything except the ability to feel satisfied. The later seasons, 7 to 8, linger in this quiet emptiness. Rick has achieved everything a mind can achieve and feels absolutely nothing. He's the smartest man in endless universes, and his greatest achievement is making everyone around him wish they were dead, while he sits in the garage wondering why omniscience tastes like nothing. After 8 seasons, organized by psychological damage, the trauma ledger is catastrophic. 1 wife and daughter murdered, 1 memory erased, decades of revenge with 0 closure, 1 reality mercy killed, 1 failed suicide attempt, 1 best friend executed and weaponized, 1 innocent witness shot, 1 daughter's suicide attempt, 1 Earth Cronenberged, 50 alternate Mortys killed, 14 days of autonomy surrendered, 1 family of graves rediscovered, 17 years deleted over a charger, thousands of Mortys tortured as fuel, and 1 central finite curve destroyed. In a multiverse of infinite possibilities, grief remains the one fixed coordinate. If this breakdown rewired how you watch Rick and Morty, hit like and subscribe for more evidence-packed deep dives that break your favorite shows in the best way. Drop your wildest Rick theory in the comments. I read every one. This is The Morty Fiction. I'll see you in the next loop.